So guys, Keith's trade today is April 21st. And a nice way to start the week. I ended up catching a 38-point trade on live. We had Caesar call out a nice 51-point short. Again, if I didn't take my trade, I would have taken that one. Overall, a great day. But we're going to go into a full back testing full day. Right, I'm looking at every potential setup we could have taken. Right, coming into the day, I was looking bearish. Right, on the 1 hour, we had that new week opening gap, and we just never filled it. But coming into the session open, right, I'm looking at respected 1 hour fair value gap, and then we took out previous week's low coming into the session. So now I'm looking for this. Are buyers going to step up aggressively and look higher, or are we going to respect imbalances and run lower? And it's exactly what we got. Coming in on the higher time frames, I had other sell side targets at this daily low, and then one more at this daily low here. Bow. All right, something along the lines of there. Let me make it perfect. These two lows are going to be my targets for sell side. Right, coming on the 5-minute time frame. My original plan today, I wanted to see the market find the buying enough to sweep out buy side here or this high. Right, I was mainly looking for us to manipulate one of these highs or both and then run lower, but we didn't even get any of that. It was very bearish. So we took out previous week's low off the open. Right, so now I'm looking at this. Are we going to break structure and respect this gap to run higher? If we don't respect this gap, we're running straight down lower. That's exactly what we got. Right, coming in, we had this 5-minute fair value gap here. Right, we swept out internally off the open and drew right into the 5-minute fair value gap where we saw selling. I wanted a short trade pre-market, not pre-market, my fault, off the open with this inverse, but by the time we closed this inverse here, this next kind of opened up and dumped it straight down to my target, which is this going to be a daily sell side low. So the fact that we ended up ripping this right off, right, I'm not going to take the short again after we took out my target. If it was to close around here, tap me in and then do it, I would be in for the trade. But I just hit the target, my TP, before I got my entry at these inverses, which is totally fine. Right, swept out a daily low. All right, now let's see what we do. If we sweep out a daily low, are we going to find buyers? No, we did not. We had a 5-minute bullish off the open. We had a respected inverse here. Rejection once, rejection twice, and there was a inverse short model here. Candle closure here. Again, within range on a short, right, within the range here, right? About a 5-point difference, so maybe could have been taken. I stayed off this setup because I didn't like that we already took out my daily low. Was waiting for if we displaced and then looked for something, right? I wasn't too confident here, but this is a trade in my model, a 5-minute inverse rejection, inverse to 1-minute short here, entry around here, stop loss at this high, right? Targeting sell side levels lower, daily target here, which was my true target for the day, right? So once market sold off, showed me it wanted that level, I took an SMT scalp, right? We had a 5-minute fair value gap. I doubted it was going to close. We were rejecting, right? Didn't really interest me yet. Once I saw the sweep of these highs, and we left an SMT here, on the rejection, I got short at 560. My original plan was a scalp trade, right? So I'm looking for this SMT to hold an instant delivery off the 5-minute, right? My stop loss obviously at the wick high. And then I had a scale break even here. I did not get it. I just ended up smacking full TP. This same candle hit, right? I entered the trade, and then the next candle opens up, and I didn't set my orders or nothing, and it just dumped straight down. Took 5 micros, caught 38 points, so a $380 profit in less than a minute, right? 42 points. I got around a 38. I got out with 380 bucks, so like probably scaled around here. But yeah, very simple scalp trade for me. Again, I did not need the inverse. I did not need it because we reached for this level. We have already showed sellers were here. Again, this trade was just a scalp for me. SMT, we held it and rejected. I grabbed a short, put in my stop at the wick high. It was like a 16-point stop. It wasn't the crazy 16, 17-point stop. And to pay, 2-1. Totally fine with that. Again, if we did not instantly deliver, I would cut it early. Scalp model. But if this trade was not taken, this is the trade that Caesar ended up taking, which is a great quality setup. And this is a high quality model, right? 15-minute model. Swept out that high. Coming on a higher time frame, 15-minute fair value gap. We see we have a 15-minute here, 15-minute here. I would have liked it much more and better risk to reward if we hit the higher one. But again, we're bearish on the day. So once we swept into this level, how did we act on this fair value gap? We found sellers, right? Again, looking either at a bearish formation or an inverse. This inverse here would have been fine. You probably would have been in the trade, but I wouldn't have taken it for the fact that we've closed 2 bearishes. So I would have to have a near 38-point stop loss. And does it have proper risk to reward? 1-to-1. But again, we ended up closing a 1 minute fair value. This is where Caesar called his entry for the short at this 1 minute fair value gap. Again, stop loss can be placed here. 23-point stop loss or 27 points. And then he called TPs at the lows. Or you could have grabbed scales at any of these lows here. Pretty nice trade as well. 44 to 56 points. Again, this is a 15-minute model. We sweep out the high. Come into the 15-minute, find the rejection. Bearish inverse short or, my fault, bullish inverse short or bearish formation. Kind of bearish formation. Grab the short, ride it all day. Even if you took it from here, scale break even, move break even, you would hit the full TP. And that is another 5-minute model trade. And then there was a reversal, right? Understand that we swept out these lows. I'm not interested in early entries. Early entry longs on a bearish market will get you killed. Same vice versa. You need to get 5-minute structure because it's going to confirm it for you more. It's really scary and really iffy to take an early entry when you have a 500, 600 point sell-off day. If you just see a manipulation move, it's different. But this is clear bearishness. This is 300, 400 points down before we even open, right? But if you get the structure, you get the piece of the puzzle. There's a long here to take, right? And it comes from inverse 5-minute. Again, very choppy, so you probably would not have gotten an entry there. But we had a bullish 5-minute here, and that's what we're looking at really, is that respect. Right, we drew back into that bullish 5-minute fair value gap. We found the buying. I would not have taken this one. I would wait for both. So we have the inverse here, right? Either you grabbed it here, if it did not, it probably would have tapped you back in here. Boom. Either or. Long stop loss can be placed at this low or this low. This is the exact same model as this trade, but on a 5-minute and on a long instead. And then let's look at TPs. Yeah, my TP probably would have been the draw into the one of the higher time frame fair value gaps. Nothing on the 5s. You have a 5-minute. Yeah, so I would look at the TP here. 5-minute fair value at reprice. Or 30-minute fair value at probably the same, yeah. This is what I would look at for the trade. Is the reprice to the 5-minute fair value gap. Respect to the 5-minute, we inversed. Long here, did it close it? Maybe you grabbed it, maybe you didn't. I probably wouldn't have. Probably would have grabbed it when it snagged back here or grabbed it at this 1 minute. But again, respect to the 5-minute inverse, same exact model, and it would have paid 25-point scalp at a 13 to 16-point risk, so like a 1-to-1. That's a long reversal. And this is also a very great quality trade that Caesar ended up taking as well, which is going to be after the longs deliver. We've seen that inversed 5-minute. You could grab short there. But I like that we inverse the 5-minute and then came back into it. So I probably would have taken it. Since we don't have a higher time frame fair value that we're rejecting off of, I probably would have took it on the inverse 5-minute close. Caesar ended up grabbing it on the respected. I love this. When we see a respected fair value gap get inversed, and then we formed a bearish here, this is shorts all day at the inverse, bearish, tight stop here, scale break even at the internal low, full TP new low a day. And this trade is a very good quality trade. 17-point risk to make 38 to 57 over 2-to-1. Again, it's the same exact model. Same exact model. On the long, we see it on the short here. We see it on the short off the inverse, right? It plays. There's very few times it will lose when you can read the puzzle and put everything together properly. Was there a 5-minute model end of day? Nope. Maybe something around here, but yeah, that'll be it for the video. Just reviewing all the setups that could have been taken off our model, off our strategy, right? And overall, a great day. Okay, yeah, this trade here. Like just was a 30-minute fair value gap of rejection. That's what it was. 30-minute fair value gap rejection in the shorts all day long. But yep, quick video reviewing this day's action. Again, pretty choppy, not the cleanest action. But if you get your higher time frames, you have your right bias, you have your setup, you play ball. And it's a great way to start off the week. And thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join the Discord, we have a link in the bio. We'd be happy to have any and all new members. Until next time, guys. Peace out.